Not all the decisions we make have immediate consequences. Some seem insignificant at the moment, but they end up completely changing the course of our lives. This is the story of Ana Suarez, a 28-year-old waitress who worked at the restaurant Sabor and Arte in Venice, Italy. Ana was not just another waitress. She was known for her impeccable service, her genuine smile, and above all, her generosity. But not even her dedication prepared her for what would happen that rainy Thursday night when one of the greatest stars of world football walked through the restaurant doors. It was almost the end of the workday. Ana was exhausted after a long day of work. Her feet hurt, and she was counting the minutes to go back home, take a hot shower, and rest. The restaurant was almost empty, except for a few late customers. That's when the door opened. My God, is that? Ana couldn't believe it. Tall, imposing, with that characteristic posture that made him unmistakable, even to those who weren't football fans. Zlatan Ibrahimović had just entered the restaurant, accompanied by a man who seemed to be his assistant. The two sat at a discreet table in the corner. Ricardo, the manager, rushed to attend to them personally, but Ana was quicker. After all, that table was in her section. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Sabor and Arte. Can I bring you something to drink while you decide on your order? Zlatan looked at Ana with that serious, almost intimidating expression that characterized him. He only asked for sparkling water and a menu. The advisor requested the same. Ana served the waters and handed over the menus with the same kindness she dedicated to any customer. She wasn't the type to be dazzled by celebrities, although her heart was beating faster. When he returned to take the orders, he noticed that Zlatan seemed a bit uncomfortable. He was constantly adjusting his neck as if he were in pain. Are you okay? You seem to be experiencing some discomfort. Zlatan replied briefly. Neck pain. Long trip. Ana hesitated for a moment, then said, If you allow me, my grandmother had a homemade remedy for muscle pain, an herbal compress that works very well. I can prepare one for you if you want. The advisor seemed bothered by the suggestion, but before he could say anything, Zlatan replied, Why not? Zlatan is willing to try. Ana went to the kitchen, asked the chef for permission, and started preparing the compress. She had learned that recipe from her grandmother, who always said, No matter who is suffering, if you can help, you should help. The compress was simple: rosemary, lavender, and chamomile, boiled with a bit of water and placed on a clean cloth. While preparing, Ricardo, the manager, entered the kitchen. What are you doing, Ana? We have clients waiting and you're here playing healer? It's just a home remedy for muscle pain. Mr. Ibrahimović has a pain in his neck. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Ricardo seemed furious. Stop the nonsense. He didn't come here to receive medical treatment. Go back to the salon right now. Ana knew she was taking a risk, but she couldn't just ignore someone in pain. Just a minute, Ricardo. I promise it won't take long. When she returned to the hall with the compress, Ricardo followed her, visibly irritated. Ana approached Zlatan's table. Here it is. Place it on the painful area for about 10 minutes. The heat and herbs help relax the muscles. Zlatan took the compress, looking a bit skeptical, but he thanked with a nod. His assistant continued with a disapproving expression. Ana returned to work, serving other tables, while Ricardo watched her from afar, furious. 20 minutes later, when Ana passed by Zlatan's table again to check if they needed anything else, the player already seemed more comfortable. It worked, he said simply. The pain has decreased. Obrigado. Ana smiled. I'm glad I could help. It was already past midnight when the restaurant finally closed. Ana was in the staff room, changing clothes, when Ricardo entered, slamming the door. Ana, we need to talk. She already knew what was coming next. Ricardo was not known for his patience or understanding. What you did today was completely unacceptable. Who do you think you are to offer home remedies to our clients? And what if he had some allergic reaction? Do you have any idea of the process we would have on our hands? Ricardo, it was just a herbal compress. My grandmother. I don't care what your grandmother did. This is a high-class restaurant, not an alternative medicine center. Anna tried to explain, but Ricardo was not willing to listen. You're fired. Come by tomorrow to collect your things and settle your account. The words hit Anna like a punch in the stomach. She needed that job. She lived alone, paid rent, and her savings barely lasted a month. Ricardo, please, it was just a gesture of kindness. It won't happen again. Too late. The decision is made. I've tolerated your acts of kindness for too long. Last week, you gave dessert for free to that family who couldn't pay. Before that, you let customers stay beyond closing time because they were celebrating a birthday. That has to stop. Anna stood there, feeling the weight of the world on her shoulders. How would she explain to her parents, who lived in the countryside, that she had lost her job because of a herbal compress? The rain fell mercilessly when Anna finally left the restaurant. She didn't have money for a taxi, so she walked to the bus stop, letting the raindrops mix with the tears she could no longer hold back. The journey to her small apartment had never seemed so long. Soaked and emotionally exhausted, Anna entered the house and collapsed on the couch. What am I going to do now? Your phone rang. It was Mariana, your best friend and co-worker. Anna, Ricardo told us what happened. I can't believe he did that. Everyone is outraged. Anna tried to sound strong. It's all right, Mari. I'll find another job. But it was so unfair. You were just trying to help. The conversation continued for a few minutes, with Mariana trying to comfort her friend. When they hung up, Anna felt a little better, but the reality of her situation remained. She was unemployed. Before going to sleep, Anna did what she always did in difficult times. She wrote in her diary. It wasn't just a habit. It was her way of venting, of organizing her thoughts. Dear Diary, today I lost my job for doing what I believe is right, helping someone who was suffering. I don't regret it. If I could go back, I would do everything again. Maybe it's a sign that I need to follow another path. Tomorrow will be a new day. Anna woke up to the sound of the alarm clock. For a moment, she forgot about the events of the previous night, but reality soon hit her. She had nowhere else to go. There was no reason to get up early, except to start looking for a new job. After having a quick coffee, he got ready to go to the restaurant to pick up his things. He was finishing getting dressed when the intercom rang. Who could it be at this hour? It was the building's doorman. Mrs. Anna, there's a gentleman here wanting to speak with you. Says it's important. Anna hesitated. I wasn't expecting anyone. Who is it? He said his name is Lars. He's a foreigner. Anna didn't know any Lars, but she authorized the ascent. Maybe it was some representative from the restaurant bringing her belongings. When she opened the door, Anna found herself face to face with a middle-aged man, well-dressed, carrying an executive briefcase. He was the same man who had accompanied Zlatan the night before. Miss Soares, I am Lars Eriksson, advisor to Mr. Ibrahimović. Can we talk? Confused, Anna invited him in. Her small apartment seemed even smaller with that tall and imposing man there. Miss Soares, I came at Mr. Ibrahimovic's request. He found out about what happened last night. Anna felt her face heat up. How did he know? We have our ways. We stayed at the restaurant late, talking to the chef. He told us that you were fired because of the compress. Anna didn't know what to say. Why would Zlatan Ibrahimović care about the fate of a simple waitress? Mr. Ibrahimović was bothered by the situation. In fact, he is quite grateful for your gesture. The pain that had been tormenting him for days completely disappeared after his treatment. Lars opened his folder and took out an envelope. What is this? A job offer, Miss Soares. Job offer? Anna took the envelope with trembling hands. Lars explained, Mr. Ibrahimović is assembling a team for his new charity foundation in Portugal. The Zlatan Foundation focuses on providing opportunities for young people from underprivileged communities through sports and education. Anna opened the envelope and almost lost her breath upon seeing the contents. It was a formal proposal to work as the coordinator of social projects for the foundation, with a salary 3 times higher than what she earned as a waitress. There must be some mistake. I don't have experience with social project management. Lars smiled for the first time since he arrived. Mr. Ibrahimović said that someone with your heart and initiative is exactly the kind of person he needs at the foundation. Technical skills can be learned. Character and compassion are innate. Anna didn't know what to say. It seemed too surreal. Why me? He barely knows me. Mr. Ibrahimović is an excellent judge of character. He says that in just a few minutes of interaction, he knew you would be perfect for the position. Moreover, he investigated your background. We know that you have a degree in social work, although you have never worked in the field. It was true. Anna had graduated in social work 5 years ago, but she never managed to get a job in the field. She ended up working as a waitress to pay the bills, and over time, the dream of working in her field was left behind. How did he find out about this? Lars shrugged. As I said, we have our ways. So what do you say? Do you accept the position? Anna looked again at the proposal. It was the opportunity she had always dreamed of, appearing in the most unexpected way possible. When would it start? Immediately. The headquarters of the foundation in Lisbon will be inaugurated next week. We need you to help with the final preparations. Anna asked for a few minutes to think. She went to the window of her small apartment, looking at the city that was beginning to wake up. It seemed too good to be true. Working in your field of study with an excellent salary for a charity foundation. It was everything I ever wanted. But he also had his doubts. And if it were just a gesture of pity, and if it wasn't up to the challenge, and if he disappointed Zlatan and all those he would help through the foundation. She looked at a photo on the wall, her and her grandmother, the same one who had taught her the home remedy that had ended up changing her destiny. She remembered the words her grandmother always repeated, "When life offers you an opportunity, don't question why. Just be grateful and do your best." Anna took a deep breath and returned to the room, where Lars was waiting patiently. "I accept." Lars smiled. "Excellent. Mr. Ibrahimović will be pleased." He handed Anna a few more documents to sign and explained the next steps. In less than an hour, her life had completely transformed. When Lars was about to leave, Anna stopped him. "Mr. Eriksson, could you pass a message to Mr. Ibrahimović for me?" "Claro. Tell him that," voice choked with emotion. "Tell him that it is I who am grateful for the opportunity and that I will do my best to honor the trust placed in me." Lars nodded. "I'll tell him. Welcome to the team, Miss Soares." A week later, Anna was in the elegant hall of the Hotel Altis, where the official inauguration of the Zlatan Foundation in Portugal was taking place. Dressed in a navy blue suit, she looked like a completely different person from the waitress she once was. The last few days had been crazy. Meetings, interviews with potential partners, visits to underserved communities to map needs. Anna dove headfirst into the new job, and to her own surprise, discovered that she had a natural talent for it. The inauguration event brought together celebrities, entrepreneurs, and politicians. Anna, as the project coordinator, was there to present the initiatives planned for the first year of the foundation. Among the guests, Anna spotted a familiar figure, Ricardo, her former boss. He recognized her immediately, and his face took on an expression of shock when he saw her not as a guest, but as part of the organizing team. "Ricardo, what a surprise to see you here." The man seemed embarrassed. "Anna, I didn't know you would be here. I am the project coordinator of the foundation." "And you?" "I was hired for the events buffet," he replied, visibly uncomfortable. Anna could have said something bitter. She could have taken revenge in some way, but it wasn't in her nature. Instead, she smiled genuinely. "How nice. Your restaurant is excellent. I'm sure everyone will appreciate it." Before Ricardo could respond, Lars appeared. "Anna, Mr. Ibrahimović wants to speak with you before going on stage." Ricardo was dumbfounded, watching Anna walk away with Zlatan's advisor. Inna was led to a private room where Zlatan Ibrahimović was waiting for her. It was the first time she had seen him since that night at the restaurant. "Mr. Ibrahimović, it's a pleasure to see you again." Zlatan, with his imposing posture, extended his hand. "Zlatan is happy that you accepted the invitation. It's me who thanks for the opportunity. Lars showed me his projects for the communities. Very good." Zlatan is impressed. Anna smiled, still not entirely accustomed to the way the player referred to himself in the third person. "Thank you. I'm very excited about the possibilities." Zlatan watched her for a moment. "Do you know why Zlatan chose you?" Anna hesitated. "I believe it was because of the herbal compress." Zlatan shook his head. "Not just that. Zlatan observed you that night. He saw how you treated the other customers, how you spoke to your colleagues, saw genuine kindness, something rare these days." Inna felt her eyes welling up. "When Zlatan learned that you were fired for helping me, he immediately decided you were the one the foundation needed. Someone who acts out of compassion, not out of self-interest." Zlatan looked at the clock. "Time for the speech. Come on, you will present the main project, me. But I thought it would be Lars." Change of plans. Zlatan wants everyone to know the heart of the foundation. Anna followed Zlatan to the stage, feeling more nervous than ever before. There were hundreds of people there, including journalists and important figures. How could a former waitress with no public speaking experience address such an imposing audience? Zlatan gave his presentation, talking about the foundation's goals and his vision for the future. Then, to everyone's surprise, he called Anna to the microphone. "This is Ana Soares, project coordinator at the Zlatan Foundation in Portugal. She perfectly exemplifies the values we seek to promote." Inna approached the microphone, her hands trembling slightly. She looked at the audience and saw curious faces, some recognizable from magazines and television. In the back, he saw Ricardo and other former colleagues from the restaurant, including Mariana, who was jumping with excitement. "About a week ago, I was a waitress in a restaurant here in Lisbon. Today, I stand before you as the project coordinator of the Zlatan Foundation. Many must be wondering how this happened. The story is simple but powerful. A small act of kindness can change lives." Anna briefly recounted the episode with the compress, her dismissal, and the surprise at receiving the job offer. "What I learned from this experience is that we should never hesitate to help someone, even when it seems there is a personal cost, because kindness always returns one way or another." Inna then presented the main projects of the foundation: sports centers in underprivileged neighborhoods, scholarships for young talents, support for families in vulnerable situations. These projects are not just about charity, they are about dignity, about giving people the tools so they can build their own future. Because, as Mr. Ibrahimović says, it's not enough to give the fish or teach how to fish. It is necessary to ensure that everyone has access to the river. When she finished her speech, the audience stood up and applauded. Anna saw tears in the eyes of some people, including Mariana. Even Ricardo seemed emotional. Zlatan approached, and in an unexpected gesture for someone usually so reserved, gave him a hug. "Perfect," he said simply. "Zlatan was right about you." A year has passed since that night at the restaurant. The Zlatan Foundation grew rapidly in Portugal, largely thanks to the tireless work of Anna and her team. The first sports center of the foundation was inaugurated in one of the poorest neighborhoods of Lisbon. Hundreds of children now had a safe place to practice sports, receive academic support, and even have nutritious meals. Anna was in the makeshift field, watching a soccer match between the project's children when her phone rang. It was Lars. "Anna, I have news. The council approved the expansion. We will open centers in 5 more Portuguese cities next year." "That's wonderful, Lars. I can hardly wait to get started. There's one more thing. Mr. Ibrahimović wants you to take over the general management of the foundation in Portugal." Anna almost dropped the phone. "General direction? Mas, no buts. You proved your worth. The decision has already been made." When she hung up, Anna stood there, absorbing the news. from waitress to director general of an international foundation in just 1 year. It was almost unbelievable. A ball rolled to his feet. A girl of about 8 years old ran to get it. "Sorry, Mrs. Anna." Anna smiled and kicked the ball back. "No problem, Maria. How is your mother?" "Much better. She got the job at the bakery just as you helped." "What great news." The girl hesitated for a moment. "Mrs. Anna, when I grow up, I want to be just like you." "Like me? Why?" "Because you help everyone. My mother says that you are an angel who appeared in our lives." Anna's eyes filled with tears. That simple comment meant more to her than any promotion or professional recognition. "Thank you, Maria. That's the most beautiful thing anyone has ever said to me." It was night, and Anna was in her new apartment, much more spacious than the previous one. The rain was falling outside, reminding her of that fateful night a year ago when she walked through the storm, unemployed and without prospects. Sitting at her desk, she opened the diary and began to write. "Dear diary, sometimes I think about how much life can change in such a short time. A year ago, I lost my job for helping someone who was suffering. Today, helping people has become my profession, my mission. I learned that a simple act of kindness can trigger a chain reaction. The compress I made for Zlatan not only relieved his physical pain, but also inspired him to give me a chance that transformed my life, which in turn allowed me to transform the lives of hundreds of children and families. My grandmother used to say that kindness is never wasted, even when it seems unrecognized or unappreciated. She was right. Kindness always finds its way back, often in ways we could never imagine." Anna closed the diary and walked to the window. The rain had lessened, and some stars were beginning to appear in the sky. "Thank you, Grandma," she whispered. "Thank you for teaching me that sometimes losing everything is just the beginning of something much greater." If you were moved by the story of Anna and Zlatan and want to hear more stories like this, I invite you to subscribe to the channel Stories That Transform. Press the subscribe button right now, activate the notification bell, and join our community of people who believe in the transformative power of good stories. Every week, we bring new narratives that inspire, move, and remind us of what truly matters in life. Furthermore, leave your comment telling what you thought of this story and share it with someone who needs to hear this message of hope and transformation. Thank you for dedicating your time to this journey with us. Until the next story.